All right, so today we are going to dive deep into something really interesting, something I find fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the mythical origins of those dragon-headed instruments,
Oh, okay.
which are all over the place in Chinese
But
culture, a
the
bunch of different cultures, actually.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at an excerpt about this legend of Qiuniu, the dragon,
Oh, okay.
associated with music. And this is going to be good because it's like a whole love story.
All right.
It's got sacrifice in there, like the good stuff.
And the power of music,
Yes, music. It's all about the power of music.
the enduring power of music. Well, it's interesting, too, because, it kind of brings together a lot of those different elements, right?
Yeah.
You've got romance and then tragedy and the divine.
Uh-huh.
It's all woven into one.
So let's maybe like set the stage a little bit.
Okay.
We've got these 9 sons of the Dragon King in Chinese mythology, which we've talked about before.
Sure.
So how does Qiuniu kind of stand out? He's the music lover.
Well, each of the sons, right, embodies a specific aspect of, like, the dragon's nature.
Uh-huh.
And Qiuniu, he is all about music. So,
Yeah.
his brothers might be chasing power, wealth,
Right, the usual.
adventure, all the good stuff. Qiuniu is different. He finds, like, real peace and expression in music, like the music of the mortal world.
Okay, interesting. So that kind of brings us to the main character, Maya.
Okay.
She's this young Yi woman,
Right?
and it all happens at Lugu Lake. This is a beautiful, huge lake.
Oh, wow.
And she plays the yueqin, which is kind of like a moon guitar.
Okay, cool.
So paint a picture of her life for us. What's she like?
So picture this. Maya, she's known for being this really good, pure person. But her life's tough because her dad's locked up.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so she finds comfort in this yueqin, right? This moon guitar is like this really important symbol of her parents' love.
Oh, wow.
And she plays it every night by the lake.
So it's like her escape, her way to cope.
Yeah, exactly.
Does she know about the lake monster?
Well, yeah, there are these stories, right, about Qiuniu, this, like, fearsome monster who lives in the lake. But she kind of ignores them, chooses to focus on the music instead.
But her music draws him to the surface, right?
Yeah, it does.
Like, what's his first impression when he sees her for the first time?
So the legend uses this phrase, and it's so good. It's like, a fairy, which is basically like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Imagine like a mythical creature drawn by this music, and then, bam, he sees Maya.
It's like love at first sight, but for a lake monster.
In a way, yeah. It really shows how music can just transcend boundaries,
Totally. But she's scared at first, right?
Of course, yeah. She's terrified. But
Yeah.
the music, it creates this bridge between them.
Okay, so Qiuniu, he's like totally into her, right?
Oh, yeah.
But he's what is it, a demon?
Basically, yeah. And he knows that humans and demons, they're not supposed to mix. It's forbidden.
Right. Heavenly law.
Exactly. So their connection, it's unspoken. It's all expressed through her music.
Wow. That's powerful. But this peace can't last forever, can it?
Sadly, no. Because, there's always a villain.
Ugh, yeah. Who's the bad guy in this story?
The tribe's chief,
Okay.
he's not a nice guy. He, like, really wants Maya.
Oh, no. This is not good.
Yeah, he is completely driven by lust. And to make things worse, he uses her dad, who's still in prison, to force her to marry him.
What? No way. That's awful.
It is. It's this brutal act that just destroys the little bit of peace that Maya had found.
And this must change her music, right? She's always used the yueqin to express herself.
Absolutely. So the night before this forced marriage, she goes back to the lake.
Okay.
But her music, it's different now. It's
Yeah.
full of sadness, despair. It's heartbreaking, really. You can hear the pain in her playing.
Wow. So Qiuniu is drawn to her music every night. He must sense this change.
He has to. With his connection to music, he'd feel the shift from, like, solace to despair. It would be so clear.
So he knows something's wrong. Does he
What?
understand what's happening?
I think so. And it's this realization that makes him decide to step in. He confronts the chief.
He's going to protect her,
Yeah.
even though it means breaking the rules.
He does. And it's a huge decision, right? Because there are always consequences for defying heavenly law.
Oh, yeah, he's in big trouble now.
Absolutely. By killing the chief, he breaks those sacred rules about how gods and mortals interact. And even though the Dragon King tries to plead his case, Qiuniu's sentenced to death by the Jade Emperor.
Wow. So that's it. That's the end for him.
Well, yeah, but what's incredible is how he accepts it.
Really?
His final request, it says so much about how much he loves Maya and the power he sees in her music.
What does he ask for?
He wants to be connected to her music forever.
Like how?
He asks for a part of him to become part of her yueqin.
A part of him. Wow. So he's literally becoming part of the instrument.
It's a beautiful idea, right? It shows how music can connect people even after death.
And that leads to the dragon head we see on these instruments, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So as Qiuniu accepts his fate, this golden light engulfs Maya's yueqin, and the head transforms into the image of Qiuniu. It's this really powerful visual. It links his spirit with the music that brought them together.
And that's how the dragon-headed instrument tradition began.
Yep. It started with the yueqin, and then it spread. The yueqin, which is a 2-stringed fiddle, adopted it. The sangxian, a 3-stringed lute. Even Tibetan and Mongolian instruments have dragon heads. It's a lasting legacy.
I've always thought the dragon head was interesting, because it's a symbol of power and luck in Chinese culture. But it's coming from this love story, this story about music's power to connect different worlds.
Right, it goes so much deeper than just a love story.
Yeah, it's making me think like maybe the myth of Qiuniu is actually a metaphor
Oh!
for how music can break down barriers, even today. Like think about how popular K-pop is worldwide, or music therapy, how it helps people communicate even if they have, cognitive or emotional challenges.
It's true. Music has this amazing ability to connect people across cultures, across all sorts of differences.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So next time we see a dragon-headed instrument, we'll be thinking about Qiuniu and Maya, but also about the bigger picture, the power of music to create connection and understanding.
And maybe even a little bit of magic.
Definitely.